Good morning, everyone. It's November 17th, 2025, and it's the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody. My name's Paul.
Good morning. This is Bev.
Good morning, Bev. And good
Morning,
morning to
Paul.
all of you out there as winter's approaching all of these little cities around the country, even here in
Right.
Tucson.
Yeah.
So, this is a very special show for us today, and it just fits right along with what we talked about last week, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah,
The
I mean,
cycle. We're doing the whole cycle, aren't
yes.
we?
So last week we talked about the baby fest and birthing and pregnancy, and this week we're going to talk about death or that transition. And this is in honor of two of our board members, families members have died, and one is my brother. That's Bruce there, and he passed away last week. And heart goes out to him. And the other one is Kai's father, Bill, and he also passed away last week. And so we would like to do a little memorial with them and talk a little bit about biotouch in relation to death. But
Yep.
we're going to start it with a little song. It's a little track on a CD called "Graceful Passages" by Michael Stillwater and Gary Milken. And a dear friend of ours, Lou Epstein, does the first cut on it. We're just going to play the first 45 seconds of what he talks about and then build on how BioTouch really can help with this transition. So here we go.
No one has ever prepared us for this experience. We think it's the end. No, it's another beginning. Another beginning. It's knowing that you're loved. Knowing that you're loved.
It's knowing that you're loved.
Knowing that you're loved. That's the big message, I think. Yeah.
Yes. And how can BioTouch help us both as the recipient and the giver in that?
Right.
And he talked about no one prepares us for this experience, and it's just the
No.
beginning. Okay,
Yeah.
so how
Yeah.
BioTouch is, and let's just we'll talk about a little bit with myself first, and how working with my brother, I was there with his last week uh, before his transition, and I was there alone. His wife and his daughter, they were out of town, and it was just he
Ah,
and I as he was
perfect.
having more pain from the cancer, and it was interesting because numerous times throughout the day he would just say, "So you want to work on me?"
Oh,
Yeah, because
wow.
he was in a lot of pain,
Yes.
and you could see the fear in his eyes, and you could see the tension in his body. And we were able to do BioTouch, which gave him moments of tranquility and peace, and pretty soon he wasn't able to drive. I was the one that took him to ER, which he never did leave, and was
Right.
able to work on him the day before I left. And it was just a wonderful time for brothers to be together
Oh,
in that final week of his
oh, perfect.
existence on this planet. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and it reminded me of my father too. That in his final days, and my family, my father, my brother, my grandfather, they were all the kind of guys of like when they decided it was over. It was over. There was, like my
Checking
brother.
out.
Yeah, my brother said to my niece, "Okay, I'm done," and he was dead within 12 hours.
I, how powerful, you
Yeah,
know?
and my
My mom did the same thing, by the way.
yeah, I
Yep.
mean that real conscious act.
Yep.
And my father was sort of the same way. He had uh, the cancer had gotten into his bones, and I remember working on his feet with BioTouch, and I
Mhm.
realized how what a beautiful thing for a man, a son, to work on his father's feet.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't
Yeah.
normally do, like rub your father's feet. But BioTouch
Right.
gave me permission to touch my father in
Wow.
ways that societally we don't usually allow to happen, you know.
We say all the time, biotouch will break down any barrier.
Yes.
I mean, this is a generational barrier that you were able to enter,
Yeah.
I mean,
So that was my experience. And we're going to read to you, Kai sent me a little thing about working with her father, and we'll just show you her and her father. And I will read to you what she wrote. BioTouch completely transformed my relationship with my dad. And about 2 years ago, we started doing it regularly, so much that he began asking for it. My dad always said he didn't like touch of any kind. He was a premature baby, and back in those days, babies in the ICU didn't receive the kind of touch and holding we know is essential now. He carried that with him his whole life. But BioTouch changed that. It became the doorway for him to explore touch in a new way. It opened him up. It softened something. Before long, he was asking me to rub his feet, and those moments became part of our rhythm together. I am deeply grateful for the last couple of weeks of his life. Every time I saw him, whether he was fully conscious or not, we shared BioTouch. It gave me a way to be with him, to support him, and to hold space for what was coming next. It was our way of staying connected all the way through.
wow. Thank you, Kai. That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Absolutely
Yes.
beautiful. Wow.
Whew. Well,
I
my
know.
breath is taken away here. So
I know. I know. I'm really kind of trying not to cry. Yeah.
you should cry. It's
I
good
know.
for all of us.
I know. Yeah.
So this is a BioTouch is important for helping us trust that we are loved and to allow ourselves to share that love with others. It brings that quality of life, through all stages. We say BioTouch brings quality of life through all stages
All
of life,
stages of life.
and transition is the
Is
stage of life.
it is. It's perfect. Yeah. Wow. Hmm.
So, how can you use it? Well, we always want to bring it. So I'm reminded of Dr. Kenna Stevenson in her presentation. She worked both with birthing and dying patients, and she always told us the first sense we come into this world as a baby, grasping for touch. The first thing that happens, we're touch. I mean, as you take the baby out of the canal, you're touching the baby,
Right. And
you
then
know.
give it to mom,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
yeah, that loving
they're
touch.
reaching to be touched.
Right.
And she said the same thing about death, that our last sense before we die is the sense of touch.
Wow.
And we saw that probably most profoundly with that young man that had that brain tumor. And he was getting all kinds of healing work and doing all kinds of things. But the one thing, when we would go in and he was unconscious, and you would do the greeting with him, he would always let out a sigh. He always knew somebody was there. Didn't happen with these other techniques, the
Right.
prayer and the symbolisms of other kinds of healing work. And at the memorial, his wife had said to us, out of all the techniques we did, BioTouch was the one that brought us hope.
So I find that so profound, and it makes you think, hope for what? Well, I think Lou said it. The absolute hope that that death, what we call death, is the beginning of something new. It's not the the ending of anything. It's a continuation of something so much greater than ourselves. And I've thought about that a lot over the years. Like, what would we be hopeful for, knowing that we are going to pass out of this life? But when you have somebody uh, present with
Present.
you,
Yes.
and I think that just really changes the dynamic of the whole experience. That, for one thing, someone touching you, you're not alone. I mean, this is the sure sign that somebody is occupying that space with you. As Kai was saying, it opened up a space for both of them to, in the last uh, s- time, that I really think that he took this with him,
Right.
his daughter being with him. It's I mean, I've experienced it with my mom, you with your
Right.
dad and brother,
Yeah,
and
you did it with your mother too, didn't you, during her final
I
days?
did. And she asked for it. And you know what? It was very interesting. I was thinking about this. I remember her asking me, "Would you do biotouch?" And she knew she was dying. And yet I could I could sense that it didn't matter. Me doing biotouch with her was something that was deeper than just her experience, what she was going through. Maybe it was some kind of a hope. I don't know, but we never really discussed it. But I always got this sense from her that, why do people ask, can you give me biotouch? There's something deeper going
Right.
on. It was me being connected to her when I was touching her skin. How much more connected? I mean, physically, you know.
And especially that greeting. I mean, if all
Yeah.
we can get is that greeting where you're touching just below the breastbone in that very powerful, energetic,
Yeah.
physiologically centered part of the solar plexus, and
Right.
then that second point just to the left of that big bone, which we've been told has a lot to do with what they call the vagus nerve and the whole
Yeah.
connection of the whole body, and
Yes.
then even just being able to get to A of the headset. And now we add Kenna's research that shows just by doing the headset, the whole frontal orbital cortex goes into coherence. So what if that coherence is happening during as they're getting ready for that transition?
Well, yeah, what if? I mean, why not?
Right, right. It just
Maybe that's where the peace comes from, the
yes,
coherency in the brain that maybe says everything's okay,
right.
everything's all right.
Yes. So we're not giving you answers, folks. This is
No,
not about anything that we know.
no,
These are our
we don't
experiences,
know.
right? We don't know. But we do know that it's simple to do,
Yeah,
that those who have applied it have found a great sense of peace and well being and
yeah,
connection with their loved ones, during this what is usually a very difficult time,
right.
and very chaotic and
Yeah,
very, it just brings a sense of calm,
yeah.
coherence. It brings a coherence.
Coherence. I think that's a really important thing to note here for those who are fortunate and honored enough to be with their loved one or someone you're caregiving for. That at that time, you get to participate
Yes,
in that journey
yes,
with them. You're not standing over or sitting in a chair somewhere, just having vigilantly just waiting for. You are stepping in and actually being able to do something.
and that's interesting. When I took my brother to ER and I'm walking around the ER ward and stuff, and I'm just seeing people sitting around. They're very sick, sometimes comatose family members, and
Yeah.
they're just helpless. They're just sitting there,
Right.
where if they had something as simple as just doing the greeting, you're right, it's a sense of participation. And I'm reminded of a woman I worked with. She was dying in the hospital. I'd worked with her in biotouch. And I walked into her room in the hospital, and she had 2 or 3 friends there, and they were just crying. They felt so helpless,
Hopeless.
And the minute I was able to do the greeting with Bibi, was her name, they calmed it down too.
Two.
Yes.
Amazing.
It just permeated the whole room,
Yeah.
and everybody got this sense of everything's going to be okay.
Okay. Well, there's that deep connection that we're always talking about. BioTouch brings not just that relationship, but anybody in the parameter has. I mean, haven't you seen somebody touching and your whole body goes, oh,
Right.
I feel that all the time. If I see somebody else doing biotouch, I take a breath. My body seems to relax. So there's something magical and amazing just that permeates the whole atmosphere with biotouch. It's wow. Yeah.
So let's leave you with a doing. You index and the middle finger of your dominant hand, and you take that with your 2 fingers, lightly touch just below the breastbone. You can feel it there. It becomes soft tissue, and you hold that for 6 to 8 seconds, lightly like a butterfly. Okay? You take that same dominant hand with those 2 fingers, and if you feel behind your neck, come down into the shoulder area, there's a big bone pops out. You can lean your head forward, it pops out. Go to the left of that, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. 6 to 8 seconds, like a butterfly. That's the greeting.
That's the greeting.
You've got the technique right there. If you need more, come to justtouch.com. We actually have a workshop. If you go health conditions and look up death and dying, we had presentation. This is great for caregivers, great for family members. Our job here is to pass this on to you so that you can use it immediately. There's no level of healers. Everybody's effective. And Bevan, my job here is only to pass this on to you, which is why we're here every week.
Every Monday.
But we're also available, office at justtouch.com. Go to justtouch.com. Go to biotouchhealing.com. Any of those places will get you to more information and the ability to download that greeting for free. Doesn't cost you anything. Just do it.
Let's do it.
So, again, we're going to play that little clip, Graceful Passages, with Michael Stillwater and Gary Milken. And we appreciate you sharing with us the love for Bruce and Bill.
Yes.
Thanks,
Definitely.
everybody.
Thank you.
No one has ever prepared us for this experience. We think it's the end. No. It's another beginning. Another beginning. It's knowing that you loved. Knowing that you loved. It's not easy letting yourself be loved. Of course, we've learned to judge ourselves. And we're always judging ourselves. But I learned to listen, that I was loved. I was loved.